Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another daily dice where we ask the dice for a message and find out what that is. If you are a returning supporter of this channel, this tribe, this ever-growing channel, I'm truly honored to be sharing this time in this space with you. And for those of you new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we're all here sharing this human experience and that this is a safe space to show up as your highest, most aligned, loving, authentic self. And should these messages happen to resonate with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And with that being said, today we are actually going to get a message from the dragons. So, yeah. Dragons of highest light and love, what message do you have for my fellow humans today? What would you like them to know? What message do you have for my fellow humans today, dragons? What would you like them to know? Okay, so we've got the 12th house. Like, we've got North Node energy. All right, and Sag. So definitely growing spiritually. You are evolving as well. Letting go of old patterns that aren't serving you. Karmic patterns, right? Letting go of those karmic patterns. Realizing that they're not serving me any longer. And really freeing yourself from those, right? North Node energy is moving into what you're destined to have. And Sagittarius energy is all about being very adventurous, very free, happy-go-lucky, kind of the partier of the zodiac, right? Like, they just bring the party wherever they go. There's just this very, very free energy, though. It's like lighthearted. It feels like you have come out of the darkness, and the dragons are saying they're very proud of you because you've chosen a different route than what you were on. So to change course was a challenge. To change course was something that was very difficult for you to do, but you did the right thing for you, and you know what's right for you. And it's like, even though you wanted to stay in that old pattern, those old habits, those old, eating the same old food, or watching the same old movies, or watching the same old, social media, or whatever it was, right? It's like you said, enough is enough. And you recognized the pattern, and you recognized the toxic pattern at that, and you moved on from it, right? You healed it. You listened to your intuition. You listened to the downloads you were receiving. And I feel like the dragons are definitely working with you on this one because you needed that ferocious energy to make a change. So it needed to be more than just that little subtle nudge, like what you receive from Source or the angels, or, sometimes the ancestors can be really, really aggressive too. Like, hey, we need to get this done. But dragon energy is very ferocious. It's very fierce and big. And it's like, when you need to make a big change, it's always helpful for you to call on the dragons for that, because they will help you out. And you're coming from very high dimensions. You're talking all the way up to 12th dimension and beyond. And they're helping you to shift that mentality into a higher state of mind where it's like, yeah, maybe I gave up something that was low vibrational, but I'm replacing it with something that is better and of higher vibration. And so this is the message they have for you, definitely moving into North Node energy. And we're always shifting, right? Like, there's never a time when we're just 100% in North Node or 100% in South Node. There's a fluid change when we begin spiritually growing, and we're constantly moving through it like this. And the reason that is because we'll go into moments where we're shedding and we're having those egoic deaths, and we'll come into moments where we're enlightened. And so that's why we're always going in and out. And that's why this is a lifelong journey and a process at that. And so they're definitely really proud of you here, and they're applauding you, and they're so happy. And it's so funny because I love that this is a dragon reading, and the North Node is literally referred to as the head of the dragon. And so I love that. The South Node is the tail of the dragon. So for that to come out in this reading is already confirmation in and of itself. Dragons, what message do you have for my fellow humans today? What else would you like them to know? Dragons of highest light and love, what further messages do you have for my fellow humans today? Okay, thank you. What further messages do you have for my fellow humans today? What would you like them to know? Okay. Yeah, this was something that was leaving you feeling defeated in a lot of different places. Like, you know, it could have been a person, it could have been a place, could have been a job, could have been a situation, a circumstance. Yeah, and you finally had to be completely honest with yourself here. Okay, and this was difficult. This is something that was very difficult to give up, but it was leaving you feeling very spiritually disconnected, defeated, deflated. And to move on from it, you really had to choose to cut it out. And see, it's like with all this red, you see that like explosive energy coming through, right? It was very explosive change. It was like, okay, I'm doing this. So it's like, maybe you needed to start a workout regimen, and you were like thinking about it, and you weren't really taking the action. 555 on the clock. And then one day you're like, this is the day. I woke up early, and you just went to the gym, and then suddenly it just became a routine, right? That's what I'm talking about, that explosive energy. And that's what the dragons were helping you with. They were helping you to be completely honest with yourself, to even if it felt like it was harsh, it was that way for a purpose. It was that way to help you change the route you were on. Yeah, to let go. I love this. The Four of Wands really does talks about letting go of old habits. It talks about shoring up things that aren't serving you anymore, letting it go. And so with the Four of Wands on the bottom, we just have that confirmation that you had to let go of something. You were letting go of something that wasn't giving back to you in an equal way. And I feel like it was instilling thoughts of greed into you, like greed of time or greed of energy or whatever it was. It's just like thank you. It demanded you and your attention, and it was constantly demanding you. And finally letting it go, you see how it brought a lot of confidence and creativity to your journey, and as well as a lot of emotional freedom. And it was very unusual, right? Very unusual the way that you did this. But you see now that this is why you were put in this position, was so that you could help others do the same thing. Help them overcome what seems like harmless habits, but they're not really harmless, right? It's like understanding that there's this energy that you have to really lean into. And so the dragons are saying they're very proud of you because you chose to lean into that powerful energy, make a change for yourself. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. They want 2 of these. Okay, wow, that came out fast. So we have Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the 5th dimensional ley lines. It's time for service. When you give, you receive. Yeah, so we saw this was a situation that was an equal give and take. And so we see again that fiery, this is lava coming through here, but that fiery energy and rebalancing you back with this energy of service. So it wouldn't surprise me if you have Virgo highly aspect in your chart. And even if you don't, that's all right. But Virgos are just very much of service to the world. And so then we also have Green Gold Dragon from Sirius. Brings universal knowledge to your spiritual pathway. Learn about spiritual technology. Be a transmitter of sacred knowledge. Yeah, so you're being a transmitter right now. It's like something that was keeping you disconnected, right? And you're finding a way to reconnect not only yourself, but others with this truth that you found out. It's just like, it might seem harmless, but it takes up time. It makes you feel bad. It makes you feel guilty or whatever it is. And we have the Air and Fire Dragon with expands your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. Look, it was explosive. Look, I can't make that up. It was explosive. This was explosive energy coming in. So I feel like that definitely wants to be out here. So this was just needed for you to make a change. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Okay, so we have Aradia and Nice, or Nice. It says, Aradia has spoken. Your inner servitude is over. Your beliefs and dependencies are melting away. I am awakening the magic that will free you. Know that freedom begins in thoughts. Yeah, so this is something that's freeing you. Right? And it does. It feels like this was some sort of dependency here. Okay? And I feel like this is, again, 5th dimension dragons coming in and helping you really clear this energy out. and come into a state of balance, especially with 24 here being 6 in numerology. That's solutions, resolutions, balance, harmony, seeing yourself through eyes of love, right? So we're going to get that one. On the bottom of the deck, we have Charis and Bond. Abundance, variety, and happiness are making their way into your life. The time of harvest has arrived, and they look gold, right? So there's a lot of abundance coming in. But again, like the solar plexus energy is coming through as well. And this is something that had to come through the seed of your soul. It's something that had to come through the solar plexus. That was the only way to take that explosive action to move forward. The lava. So lava is something here that's very, very significant to the reading. And also it makes me think of the volatility card from the Earth Magic deck, which was, it's talking about how maybe it caused a lot of anger, but it's like, but I want to hold on to this. So there's a lot of debate between your emotional ego and the spiritual self. And your spiritual self won because you kept growing and you kept releasing and letting go of old habits here. 11:11 on the clock. Look at another purple dragon. We have Sirian and Balduin, which is number 22, and trust the process. We have see the wonders around you and honor this incarnation. The here and now is the stage on which you will encounter and learn to love yourself. So it does feel like whatever this was, it could have been something that was really disconnecting you from yourself, or it was like some sort of habit that was keeping you numb to your journey. And so we see here there was this energy that came through the crown chakra and it lit up your solar plexus chakra. And from that, you're learning this healing energy and freeing yourself. And you're actually walking on the North Node here by letting go of the things that aren't serving you any longer. And it's difficult to do, right? It's especially when it's something like we really believe it's not that big of a deal. But then when you let it go, you see like, wow, that was really taking up a lot of space and energy and effort. And now I feel like I have more time. It's kind of like they keep showing me an image from my past. I used to smoke cigarettes way, way, way back in the day. And when I quit smoking cigarettes, it was like I didn't know what to do with myself because all of a sudden I had all this time. Because I wasn't like, oh, I have free time, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. It was like, I have free time. What do I do with my free time? And so that's what it feels like right now. And again, that's just an example, right? That's not necessarily what it is that you have quit. It's just, it's something that maybe just took up a little bit of time to do. But now that you aren't doing it anymore, you're going to recognize you have tons of time and you're going to be able to put that towards your path of purpose and your creative self and your journey. So this is a very powerful message. Very, very powerful. I love this. So if you felt like this was your message, leave the little, is there a volcano emoji? Okay, if there's not a volcano emoji, leave a little palm tree, okay? And say, through the turmoil and the anger and the hostility, I find the peace and the calm, and I learn to relinquish control and love myself. And if this resonated with you, it means so much to me if you were to like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all those links below in the description box in order to do so. You can email me for a personal reading. You can follow me on over to my podcast on Spotify at scatterlovetarot. You can even join as a member, and I would love to see you on memberships, but if not, thank you for your continued support here. I do want to give a shout out to the dragons for coming through with this message. I also want to say thank you to your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. But until next time, stay human. Bye.